Yo, I'm dead already. The thumbnail for this video looks crazy because the way I'm sitting and where the camera sits, if you're looking at it right now, what's the shit look like? And if you're wondering, yes. Let me stop playing. So, was it back in the day, me and my homeboy Rob, shout out to my man Rob, aka my nigga D-Red. Rob and I used to make music videos together. And we rapped and we did all that type of stuff. Steph, what's up? Yeah, you're first because I'm not typing. I'm not feeling it today. But my friend Rob and I, when I used to have this old TV show, it was not good. It was the worst thing that any human had probably ever seen. But we used to have this thing that we'll say on the show, we'll make jokes, we'll say, we're king size. And so from time to time, I make that joke. But I'm laughing because when I did the thumbnail, it looks, you get it, man. Use your imagination. Man, you know what? I ain't gonna lie, Steph. I was just salty. You beat me to it. It doesn't happen often. And believe it or not, was not expecting anybody to be here. Most people don't show up until a little bit later. I thought I had time to get these jokes in and then get to the keys, but I didn't. So I've been bested. God, what was I doing before this? I was listening to music. I was turning up, and then I had to turn this shit off because YouTube has this weird thing where apparently you can't have music playing on the videos. It's like a copyright thing. I just don't understand that. So this is my thing. And I'm going to tell you, someone who maybe I'm trying to get into the business a little bit, but I don't know a ton about it. And I'm not like a fucking legal expert. But my thing is this. You niggas already made the music. I'm not going back trying to make money off of your music. I'm appreciating your shit and I'm listening to it because I like to listen to music. It make this shit hella boring that people at one point or another took advantage of these artists and their art to the point where now other people can't just enjoy the shit without getting some stupid ass email talking about we had to like edit your video for copyright infringement. Man, kiss my ass. I'm listening to music, man. Come on. But I was in here vibing my IG story, which I do not put. I put a lot of stuff on there, but you don't ever see me on there really. But I was in there jamming. I forget what songs I was listening to, but it was something that was fire. Let's see. Today is Thursday. I don't even know what fucking day it is. Let me check. Thursday, May 21st. Jesus Christ. It's almost June. I have a feeling we're going to be in phase 1 until the end of fucking time. And then it's going to make it to where we just won't have days of the year. I feel like at some point, this is just going to be like, every day is going to be Earth Day. And if you're here to see it, you're just a part of Earth Day. No more calendar, no more time. Everybody just stay at home. And don't do nothing. Don't enjoy life. Just be on the internet posting bullshit. And there's a part of me that is low-key okay with that life because there really isn't anything else to do. And posting bullshit on the internet is hilarious. And it's what I do best. So we got the music playing on Track Talk Radio. They're going to listen to one more song. They were just listening to Aaliyah 4-Page Letter, which is one of the greatest records of all time. The production on that is crazy. I think that beat is top 5 all time. And I think Aaliyah is one of the greatest. And I think she's 10 million times better than Beyonce. If you want to argue with me, put it in the fucking chat. I will argue that until the day I no longer breathe. Because that's just what I firmly believe. I feel like if Aaliyah doesn't end up dying, Beyonce is just like, she gonna still be hot. Don't get me wrong. She would still be hot, but she would just be okay. I think y'all would maybe really see it for what it is. She's a wonderful entertainer, but like her voice is dope. Don't get me wrong. It's okay. But like not every song she has slaps. Like y'all calling her queen and all that shit is weird to me. Because there are other people who sing much, much better than her. Like Whitney Houston has a much better voice than Beyonce will ever have or has ever had. But I don't hear y'all saying that she's the greatest. Come on, man. Do y'all actually listen to the songs? But I guess it all just depends on what your criteria is. But back to my original point, I think Aaliyah is one of the greatest. So that's what they're listening to on Track Talk Radio. Now they're listening to Bone Crusher. Raise your hand if you know who Bone Crusher is. It's a Southern thing. I don't know if he was out here popping on the West Coast. Steph, you're in the chat. Do you know who Bone Crusher is? Okay, Steph says Beyonce is overrated. Honestly, I kind of think she is too, man. Like, I don't even think that it's hate. Her music is good, don't get me wrong, but there are people who make better music than she does. But her performing, I think, is second to none. Her performing is on the same level of like Michael Jackson and stuff like that, which I think is why people give her the praise that they give her. But like, y'all be acting like y'all want to kiss the ground she walks on. I feel like only Jay should be doing that. I don't think the rest, like, she's cool. I feel like Kelly was better than she was. And I've said that for years and people say that I'm crazy. But yeah, shout out to Steph. Steph leaving her opinion. Usually when I say that, girls come flocking to tell me how shitty of a man I am because I think Beyonce is not as good as Aaliyah, which I don't understand that. But I also think like Aaliyah ends up passing in the early 2000s and like, I don't know, man. Like most of the people that know her, they're going to be people that are like, 30 and older. It's not going to be these young people. They don't know Aaliyah like we did. And so I think that's probably why when I say that thought, they probably are just like, yeah, right. Oh my God, Beyonce. Like they don't know what Aaliyah was. And so without hearing all of the songs in the entire catalog, you won't ever understand. So I think at some point when these streaming services actually put her music up there, I think people will actually see, like, honestly, I'm going to tell you what this shit is like. The Michael Jordan, LeBron James thing, that's what this Aaliyah Beyonce thing is to me. Aaliyah is Jordan and LeBron is Beyonce. That's as good as it gets. And in my opinion, she won't ever be number one. Sorry. But anyway, back to Bone Crusher. Never Scared was his one and only hit. I don't remember him having anything other than that. And if he did, I don't know. I bet it wasn't good because I don't remember him doing anything outside of this record. And then there's a remix that has like Cameron, Jadakiss, and Busta Rhymes. And Busta Rhymes is the last verse. And when I tell you he was spazzing, it was over. But people don't give Busta Rhymes that respect either. Like, you know what? I'm starting to realize some of you people who are loud and get paid for your opinion, you're young and you're disrespectful because you talk about some of these people as if they are not what they are, which is great. It's crazy to me that some people think like Missy Elliott is just okay. Busta Rhymes is just okay. I heard somebody say that Janet Jackson was just okay. And I'm like, bro, what? Just okay. And then the names they try to throw back at you, they'll be like, well, I mean, Ariana Grande's fire and Lil Pump is this and this person is this. And I'm like, who the fuck are these fucking people? I don't know these people. So Steph says she thinks they did, but all the songs sound the same. I could see that. If Bone Crusher had another hit, it probably literally sounded just like Never Scared. So I bet it slapped. J Cav says, okay, boomer. Listen, man, I think if you really, really have a real appreciation for music, you understand that music it's lit, but it was at its best, I think, from like 85 to 05. I think from that time, music is just crazy fire. And then it's still good now, but like a lot of the people now are like, is it really music? Come on, man. Think about some of the songs that these young kids are making, these kids that were making millionaires, and think about the songs they're making with the content that they spit. Is any of that shit really good to any of y'all? Come on. The answer is no. All right, let me intro the show, and then we're going to get into it. Let's see. DMX Eminem battle. We're going to get into that. Hey! All right, thank you for tuning in live on Track Talk Radio. This is the Meaningful Jackson Show. We were just talking about music. Well, actually, I'm in here kind of just ripping to shreds the fact that people think Beyonce is better than Aaliyah. I won't stand for that type of disrespect. Excuse me, I'm burping on the show being nasty. So, okay, shout out to my man Jared who's in the chat. Jared is one of my good friends from out here, and and I feel like I can say this, one of our favorite songs, and it's cool because I grew up on the East Coast, he grew up out here on the West Coast, but one of our favorite songs is by Fabulous with Jagged Edge, Trade It All, Part 2, to be specific. That is one of the cuts, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to type in here. Hey. And so I was thinking today, it's funny that he brings this up in the chat. Shout out to Jared. And then shout out to Steph for her opinions on music too, because we were talking about Bone Crusher as well. And I don't know a hit that he has outside of Never Scared. And Steph mentioned that he probably does, but that all the songs probably sound the same, which is accurate. But the Trade It All Part 2 record got me thinking about Fab. And I feel like Fab is another one of these people that a lot of these people I feel like disrespect. And they try to say that he's not one of the greatest. I'm very confused. My man can spit raps. He can make songs for the ladies. And he's been here for like 20 years. 20 years. Why do people say that Fab is not hot? Trade It All Part 2 was nasty. That's one of the best songs ever made. Jagged Edge was on that record. They killed it. Yeah. Well, my man, that's when jersey dresses were a thing. So I know all the ladies back then, they had those shit. I remember seeing those at the club. What were they? And they would be in the jersey dresses, got the hoop earrings, and they had, what were the tennis shoes they were wearing? Probably Air Force Ones at the time, because Nelly had Air Force Ones popping. And then everybody was wearing tall tees and jerseys and bullshit like that. So, and the jersey dresses, that was just a fad, man. We probably were looking like some damn goose, man. I know J. Cole has a line on a record where he says something like, what does he say? He says something about how we were all wearing tall tees and white folks were looking at us like we were weirdos. And now when I see videos from back then, the first thing I say is, I bet look at these dumbass niggas. But if you go back on, even on my Facebook, you go back 10 years, however long that motherfucker been open, you'll see me in tall tees and bullshit like that. And yeah, I was making runs out to the mall to go to Foot Locker to get the whatever it was, 3 for whatever and all that type of shit. Foot Locker, Finish Line, all those places. Yo, Jared, didn't you work at Finish Line or Foot Locker, one of those? We got to get Jared to come on this show, man. I know my man's got stories about Genuine, how he ran into him at the shop one time, which that story may not be that good to other people, but I just thought it was crazy that my nigga met Genuine one day. So random. But anyway, shout out to Jared. I think Priscilla's going to call in. I wanted her to come on today because I saw this video the other day, and it was very interesting. Now, I have never pretended to be somebody who knows everything about everything. I don't know a lot. I'm going to tell you that now. If you tuned into this thinking that I was some fucking PhD having nigga that knows all this, no, no. I have crazy ass stories, a lot of life experiences, and I know what I have soaked up and retained from reading books and listening to the thoughts and opinions of others, and then comparing that versus the data, then comparing that versus the life experiences. So I only know a little bit, but there are a lot of things in regards to like, yo, my man Jared's talking about how Genuine asked for a military discount. Fam. Genuine, you got some explaining to do, bro, because we know you was not in the military. Now, if you had a family member who was, well, I need to check your ID, but also, fam, remember, I come from that, so I know your ID was probably expired. You probably was just trying to get over on my man Jared and trying to just use your military discount. But shout out to Genuine, man. You got to have the freshest sneaks so he can do all that dancing that he was doing. And did you see how they disrespected him lately? There's a meme of him with his hair. And somebody said, like, one of the memes I saw, it said something like, what am I mixed with? And somebody put Yorkie on there. I was dying, bro. The disrespect towards Genuine, that shit was foul, but it is what it is. But anyway, so I don't pretend to be well-versed on a lot of stuff, especially when it's like political and blase, but there was a video on this Karen page that Steph had tagged me in that I saw. And it was this lady complaining because people in Massachusetts were walking around spray painting arrows on the sidewalk to, force people to walk in one direction. And then Priscilla and I had a kind of a crazy conversation. And so hopefully we'll be able to have her on later so we can kind of get into what we talked about, because it kind of put me in like a weird space. I'm not going to be on here like complaining because I just really don't know if this is what is going to happen. But at the same time, the people that I've asked about this, I trust their opinions, and the fact that they're kind of telling me about a lot of this history that I will say I know that I have heard before, but I don't think I was looking at it for what it really was back in the day. Perfect timing. Hey, yo, what's cracking, dog? Yo, you can hear me?
Hey.
What's cracking? I was just talking about you. I said you ain't shit. What's up? No, I'm just playing.
I bet you say talking shit about
No. We always talking shit about Genuine's haircut, but that's a random thing.
Ooh, I haven't seen it.
You ain't seen that meme where it's a picture of him and it says, "What am I mixed with?" and somebody put Yorkie on there. I know you've seen that because I posted it. I don't think people knew that's just Genuine. That's what he looks like now. My man.
Really?
Yeah, my man has the fucking like. Who does he look like? He looks like, you know how when kids used to come, like high school boys used to come to school early in the mornings and they had the black hair and it was all wet. And you know how they just look like they don't really take care of themselves?
No.
That's what he looked like, bro. He just looked like all the kids we went to high school with who just go in the bathroom and wet their hair down and then walk around dripping everywhere. That's nasty as shit. But anyway, welcome to the show. What's been up? How are you? What have you been doing?
I have been over here in the trenches. No, I've been good. I've just been same old.
Yeah, I feel it. All right. So before you had called, I was getting into telling these folks who are listening that you and I were having a conversation. And I sent you this video of this lady who was not giving the people who were spray painting a hard time, but just kind of being loud out in public because people were spray painting arrows on the sidewalk. And then I was asking you some questions because she mentioned something along the lines of like, what was it, like Chinese communism or something like that. And because I'm kind of a dum-dum and I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about, I reached out to you. And so, because I was like, well, what does she mean? Like, and why are these niggas painting arrows on the sidewalk? And I'm going to tell you, I've been to some stores where they have arrows and I'm just like, yo, fam, we not in a car, so we're not going to get in an accident. If I go down the other way, nobody in here is going to, if y'all say something, I'll be like, bro, for real, I'm going to grab my shit and I'm going to keep walking. Like, I'm not going to stop to acknowledge that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that shit is crazy. And then based on some of the stuff you were saying, it kind of got me, really feeling like this is starting to feel like some shit where they're trying to like remove some of our liberties. So what were your thoughts on this video I sent you? And then can you kind of explain what you were explaining to me yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, so that video was on something that was on a website called like Parents Gone Wild or whatever, right? Instagram. So they were like making fun of this woman. And she brought up so many valid points because like you and I had talked about, communism in theory is basically where the government gives the people whatever they need. Therefore, nobody's ever wanting for anything, right?
Yeah.
Well, what happens, though, is that the government becomes in control of the people. And when you have one person at the top of that, then your constitutional rights, like in America, are being taken away. And that's what she was talking about, because it is tyranny. Like, it is, our rights are being taken away very slowly. And as much as I do believe, obviously, that coronavirus is a thing, I do know like why people are concerned. I don't take anything away from anybody else, but as far as the masks and stuff like that, like you are taking away my right by forcing me to wear a mask. You are taking away my right by forcing me to walk this way on the street. And what happens is that it starts slow by little changes, and then the next thing you know, your entire life is becoming controlled by the government and what they say you can do and cannot do. Based on what they feel is right.
Okay, so that And I know there are going to be a ton of people who are like, no, this is BS and da 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 da. And I will tell you, even as somebody who's not well versed on this, I've always been a question everything. That's why I'm one of the most annoying people on the planet, because I'll be like, but why? Like, why do we have to do this? Like, why can't I just do this other thing? And so naturally, I already question stuff, but now I'm already thinking like, yo, this is really maybe how this shit kind of starts up. And then it was funny because I know I sent you a meme today where it was saying something like, you can only go to like Home Depot and the grocery store and da 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 da, but like coronavirus can only go to 6 feet, but you know, like you got to stay. It was like some weird thing where it's pointing out how like we're saying that like, you know, you can't do the hair salon and the gym and like all these things, and you got to walk this certain direction, and don't worry, like it's not going to sit on Amazon packages, but now everybody has to wear a mask and we all got to be careful, and it's got to be curbside pickup. All this shit is just kind of starting to sound like real weird. And then you had mentioned something else to me yesterday, and so I want you to talk to the people about what you were telling me about you and the conversation you had with your friend in regards to the Hitler stuff.
Oh, so yeah, like we were talking about how Hitler, so here's the thing, when Hitler first became a politician, he was a great speaker. People forget that he wasn't super educated, but people loved him. That's how he was able to manipulate so many people into exterminating the Jewish people.
Yeah.
And so it's hard because you have, like, I mean, obviously we know about the Holocaust and everything like that. You have somebody who is very well liked.
Yeah.
And it wasn't considered bad. Like that's just it. Like, and so you look at what's going on here, you have people supporting this, saying, okay, well, you're going to get sick and kill millions of people. And it's scary because a lot of things get lost in translation. I feel like people are so caught up in coronavirus that they're forgetting there's a lot of other things, like that lady was talking about in that video, Agenda 2030. Now, Agenda 2030 is something that's basically like just for the, I think it's for the improvement of things like global warming, of like how to become more of a community and to save our planet and to get things on track as humankind. But in the process of this whole sort of agenda that they're pushing, there are also things like, I don't know, you have an iPhone, right? Did you get the new update?
No, I haven't updated my phone in a minute. Maybe like a couple weeks. Like,
okay. So they're implementing now, there is a COVID-19 app. Now with this app, obviously they're pushing it on people that it's like, oh, it's for your safety. And it's to let you know if you've been exposed to certain things. But what they're doing is they're tracing your every move, which they've been doing for a while. That ain't nothing new. But now they're saying it so that, oh, well, we're tracing you and what you do and where you go so that we can let you know if you, like, say there was a Home Depot that had like an influx of COVID cases out of nowhere in their employees. So if you were at the Home Depot last weekend, then they could trace you and send you an alert that says, okay, you were here, you may have been exposed to COVID, go get tested. Now that's violating my rights. Like, why do you get to track what I'm doing and where I'm going?
Can you turn that shit off? I would just turn it off. Like, I ain't gonna lie, turn those Amber Alerts off, because like, what y'all want me to do? Y'all want me to go, like, you expecting me just to jump into action when I see that and go? Like, if I see the car, I will call for sure. But like, what do they expect us to do with that type of stuff? And what if the phone malfunctions and like tells me that I have it when I fucking don't? And then my whole life is going to be turned upside down because of some bullshit ass app that they created?
See, yeah. And here's the scary thing is that you have people following this. Obviously, there's a lot of people who are passionate about this. I see it every day on my Facebook. If you're not wearing a mask, you're stupid. And you're like, everybody's kind of like, you're either on this side or you're on that side. And if you're in the middle, and you just need to pick a side. Well, that's now causing a divide within people. And that becomes a very scary thing because we all know what humankind is capable of. We saw it with the Holocaust. because those people in Germany didn't necessarily think anything bad of Jewish people until Hitler was really popular, right? And so then when he became really popular and people respected him as a politician, then they were like, oh, well, if Hitler's saying the Jewish people are bad, then they must really be bad. We should really exterminate them. And I'm sure, like, I don't know if you remember school seeing all the propaganda commercials and the cartoons and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for it to get to that point here.
Damn. Okay, so I'll tell you, like, when you were telling me this stuff yesterday, and then you were explaining to me, like, that, like, some of the ads for his campaign, like, in the conversation you and your friend were having, where he was like, yo, if you remove Hitler's picture and you just looked at the words, like, the wording would make you feel like, oh, yeah, this is lit. I would support this shit. Like, which that is the craziest part to me, is that, like, you have people coming in and they finesse you into thinking this is going to be like all these roses and all this type of shit. And then you end up trying to put people in camps and then killing a bunch of people and committing mass genocide, which is crazy.
I forgot I told you about that. Yeah, he sent me something and basically they had taken Hitler's picture off and they put down all of his, like, political sort of what he wanted for the people in the beginning. Now this is before all the propaganda and stuff like that. And then they were like, if you saw a politician who wanted all this, what would you think? And I was like, yeah, like, this is good. And he was like, that was Hitler when he first started out. And then you start thinking, because, like, if you have somebody who's in power, like a politician, it's like, yeah, we're worried about you and your well-being. We're worried about your family. We're worried about you going back to work and the economy and all these other things. And you really start to feel like they're empathizing with you. Like, we're all in a shitty situation right now. People are losing their jobs. People are out of work. People are scared about their families. There are nurses going to work every day who are risking their families' lives. Like, I've seen pictures of doctors, like, camping out in their garages so they're not at risk of exposing their families and their children. It's a very serious thing, but it is very scary because I think a lot of people get so caught up on COVID that we're not always seeing the bigger picture. And there's all these protests going on about the mask. Now, yes, you and I talked about this. There are some very Trump rednecky supporters who are just speaking out their ass, who don't know what they're talking about. But there are some people who have very good points, because this is how your constitutional rights start becoming non-existent, or they start taking them away. And I go back and forth, because I do see how they're trying to protect people with the masks and stuff like that, but I also see how they're taking away rights. And I do see how it can become a bigger problem. And now that we have a global pandemic, now we have something to blame it on. Well, we're taking away this right because there's this pandemic. You know? And that's scary.
Yeah, it's crazy, because I almost wonder, like, what is the real reason for us, or for them wanting us to slide back to something different, or move forward to a life where, like, there's less in comparison to, like, what we have been doing. Like, in the last 50 years, you've seen, 50 to 60 years, you've seen where, like, fun became more of, like, a thing. And then we made jobs out of fun. And, like, now, like, people just get paid to be fun. And it almost seems like they're trying to slide us back to where, nah, niggas are just here and you either work or you don't. Ain't nobody about to be having no fucking fun. And so a lot of this stuff is just so crazy. So, like, when I sent you that meme today, like, I was laughing too, because I was like, it is kind of weird that, like, a lot of places are open, but then there's just so much stuff that, like, isn't. And so, like, if a person goes to the hair salon, they're putting millions of Americans at risk, but, like, the Home Depot is cool. Like, I don't, and then, like getting your food delivered is cool, but, like, going out to eat is not cool. Like, so, like, at what point, like, what is, I know that some of it is like, or you want to like keep the amount of people within a one space. You want to keep those numbers low. I get that, but like at the same time, like, is there really like such a huge difference that a lot of these places like we can't find, like it's all just weird. Like they're picking and choosing what is cool and what's not. I was
just about to say that.
Yeah, and they're like trying to tell us like what's appropriate and what's not. It's weird.
Did you hear about the study that came out today?
No.
So they've been telling everybody to wear gloves because it spreads on surfaces. Well, now the CDC came out today and said, no, you can't contract COVID from a surface. It doesn't survive on surfaces. So I'm like, y'all are going to change this in 2 weeks from now, just depending on the agenda. Well, now the agenda is reopening all these businesses because it's hurting the economy.
Yeah.
So now the CDC is coming out and saying, oh, no, you can't get it from this, you can't get it from that. That's not what you said 3 weeks ago.
Well, hold on. So that should mean if you can't get it from a surface, then the fucking gym should be open, right? Because then if they just wipe down the machines like you were all supposed to before all this shit happened, everything should stay clean and sanitized so you don't get a staph infection, and we should be able to be free and clear and go hoop and do whatever the fuck we want, right?
And yeah, and as somebody who goes to the, I mean, I'm not, you know me, I train, so I'm at the gym every day. When I come home, like even if after I lay down on the bench, like after I'm doing exercises on any equipment, I go into the locker room and I douse myself with rubbing alcohol to begin with because I know that shit's dirty. Like everybody and their mama had laid on this bench sweaty and gross and all this stuff. I don't know, I don't know these people.
Yeah, like, and that's like and I always bring up the gym because I feel like that I'm surprised that people weren't saying that this all started at a gym. Because that's where I could see it being more likely to happen, at a gym, at a like where people are being in close proximity with one another, sweating, being nasty, coughing, doing all kinds of shit. Like those are the places that I was hoping that this, like, that you would hear like, oh, this is where this started, but it's not. And so now I'm like, okay, well, we're past like all this weeks of like, if you're this close to people, you can get it. You got to wear gloves. You got to wear a mask. You got to do this. You got to do that. And then like now all of a sudden it's like it's not on surfaces. Like you don't have to worry about packaging anymore and everything is cool. Like, but if that's the case, then why are we in the position that we're in? And not even just saying that from I don't even care about staying home anymore because now I'm just used to this shit. I'm just used to being here. I probably won't be able to function outside because I'm not used to being out there anymore. But now my point is like, why are certain things cool, but certain things are not? Like, what is the difference of keeping a Home Depot open versus having a gym open? What is the difference to me?
And I saw a meme the other day.
Zero difference.
And I know people are very, for me, like, my mom sent me some cloth masks in the mail, and they actually have like ventilation holes in them.
Oh, that's lit.
And I kind of like, I laughed at it because I'm like, what is this really protecting you from? But I will say as a mom, if I imagine myself and my kids going into the store, I'd probably have my daughter wear one, not because I know, like in my head, with my education, not education, but like my knowledge, a cloth mask is not going to protect you from much, but it's a mental security. Yeah. As if I'm doing an extra step to protect myself. But there was this meme that said, if masks work, why are we closed? And if they don't work, why are we forced to wear them?
That's a good point.
Yeah, and it really made me think because, like,
it does make you think.
There's a reason why medical professionals wear the mask that they do.
Yeah.
Because it actually does something. You don't see a medical professional wearing a cloth mask. Yeah, it's going to protect you from getting droplets, but out here, they're talking about making us wear masks while we're working out at the gym. And I'm like, that sounds nastier than without it. Because I'm like, if you think about it, you're sweating, you're breathing heavy, you're perspiring, that's moisture. If you get a COVID-19 droplet, you're basically harvesting it in your cloth mask that you're wearing on your face.
Unless you get one of those, what about those little training masks, where you look like Bane from Batman?
Oh, like with the... there's a dude at my gym who's a firefighter. He'd be on like the stair step with those little like oxygen restriction mask.
Yeah, I'm about to get one of those and just do a photo shoot with it, just so I can say I had one before everybody else does. Yeah, see, the thing was, so you've seen the mask that I have. I wear that motherfucker just because it's funny, and more for the protection of other people. And because, you know, like what you said, a lot of it is just a mental thing, and a lot of people, they feel more comfortable if they see you in the mask. Now I'm gonna tell you, I already have to worry about being out in public amongst other people and making them feel comfortable due to size, stature, and mainly my color. And so now, you know, I just said, fuck it. I'll just take on this extra thing to make white folks feel better. And I'll wear my mask, because I know if I don't, and then someone says something, the second I say something back, they're going to get scared, and then it's going to become a thing. And I'm not dying because I didn't wear a mask, but I am somebody who, I literally walk around and like I have my mask on, and I'm just like, the whole time I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Because when I had this shit at the beginning of the year and everybody around me was getting sick, and you knew nobody had fucking mask on. I've been seeing Asian people wear masks since the dawn of time. So they were already up on the mask thing, but I never thought much of it because they already were taking those precautions. But in January, February, everybody and their moms was getting sick. And then so what? March, April, and May, we wear masks. And then what? June, July, August, everything is straight. But then like until the end of time, this whole thing is still going to be out there. There's still going to be things that potentially make you sick. Like I'm going back to my original thing when we started talking about this months ago. It's like, what are we supposed to do? Because people are always and forever going to be susceptible to disease, and they're going to get sick. People are going to cough. They're going to sneeze, and we still have to function. What are we supposed to do? You got everybody staying at home. You got everybody being forced to wear a mask and gloves. And then now you're telling people that none of this shit even works. Like, what are we doing this for? And freaking, we seen our vice president on TV not giving a fuck, not wearing a mask. Same thing with our president. We got these two bozos giving out directives, and they're not even wearing them. Most of the people telling you to wear them don't wear them. Like, they don't even care. Why do we have to care?
Yeah, I saw that picture of that lady being arrested for not wearing the mask by cops who were not wearing the mask.
That's what I'm saying. That's so weird. How you walk up to me complaining about me not having a mask on, you ain't got one on neither. All of a sudden, the rules don't apply to certain people. But that's what they're going to do. They're going to make it hard. Go ahead. Sorry, no. Go ahead. I was going
to say, if they're going to make people wear a mask, and I'm talking about like, there are some states who are fining people $1,000 for going out in public without a mask, then you provide the public with the proper mask that is going to protect them.
Yeah.
Not, go figure it out, have your neighbor making some cloth mask made out of her. Like, that's messed up. To begin with, you don't care about us. You don't care about my health. You're telling me to figure it out, and if I don't figure it out, you're gonna fine me.
And how much are masks running? Like I paid like $27 for mine. Could you imagine not having that motherfucker on and having to pay $1,000 for not wearing it?
I remember. Yeah, I remember when it was $28 for a box of 50 N95. Like now, it's like one cloth mask is $30 online. $14.95 is like the cheapest I've seen it.
And I always feel like this is what they do. I feel like what it is like they find new ways to get us to spend money, but then also find ways to force us to spend the money. And then if we don't, it costs money. All they want to do is to hoard all the money. It has to be, right? This is like the same thing. Like I've never understood, like, tell me why the fuck there's a carpool lane and why you have to pay to be in the carpool lane. You have to pay to drive on the road. And the thing that separates it is a toll, like a little camera that flashes, and then a fucking painted line on the road. And then if you ride in that, and you don't have the required amount of people, which 2 or maybe 3 now, it's like a $500 fine. You're fining me $500 to go around the traffic and just access the road that you built specifically for us to drive on. $500. Why? It's because they're being greedy. They want to keep all the money. They want niggas to be broke forever. I don't know. That's probably just something crazy that I just think of in my head because I hate giving motherfuckers money. But damn, $1,000 for not wearing a mask. But like, is it not? I understand wanting to protect all people, but like, what if I just was like, you know what? Fuck this place. I don't want to be here no more. But I want to enjoy it, but I'm willing to put my life on the line in order to be here. And then when it's done, it's done. Am I not allowed to make that choice for myself?
Right.
I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but there are people who think along those lines. I do not want to feel like I'm in a box while I'm here. I want to enjoy it as much as I can. And when I'm done, I'm fucking done. And I don't want to be told that in order for me to save my own life and all the lives of millions of other Americans and people around the world, that I have to walk around in public wearing masks and gloves. But I will also say this. If I'm choosing to go and spend my money at a specific establishment, and that establishment requires me to wear it in order to shop within one of their dwellings, I'm just going to fucking do it if I want to buy the shit. That's my thing on that is I don't like how people are making a big deal about having to like, if you want to go shopping, wear the fucking mask. Just make the people happy for 10, 15 minutes and then go the fuck home. But now I'm wondering like, do I sound like I'm like contradicting myself if I say that like I'm just gonna wear it for the 30 minutes, like, and by not wanting to deal with bullshit and drama, like, does that make me kind of a sellout? Like, because I'm somebody who I don't give a fuck about wearing those masks, but like I don't want to deal with the drama that people are creating around it. Like, what do you think about that?
I mean, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I'm one of those people where I'm just like, you do what you feel is fit for you. But when I went to California and the dude legit got mad at me because I'm going through a Starbucks drive-thru without a mask on in my car.
Yeah.
I was like, excuse me? Like, it really, like, and I had to, like, check myself for a little bit, like, okay, bitch, you're in a global pandemic, like, calm down. Because I was like, are you really getting an attitude with me? Like, I was about to be like, yo, who do you think you're talking to?
Yeah.
But, like, some people are very, like, and I see it all the time because I see people here who are going on walks with masks and gloves on.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. If I'm out, so this is my thing. Inside, I got you. But outdoors, I'm not wearing a fucking mask or gloves to be outside. You're outside. It doesn't matter. It can hit you from every angle at that point. You are not, if the thing can float in the air and do all these things that they say that it does, the second you're outside, you're not safe. So it does not matter. What is the point of wearing those?
I'm going to tell you this. If you're worried that you're going to contact coronavirus from the air, you need to start looking at your government and not at other people because there's a lot of other shit going on.
Yeah, that's true.
Where is it really coming from then? If you feel like you got to wear a mask and gloves when you're walking, breathing fresh air outside.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I do. So I've gotten in the habit over the last 3 weeks of like every single day getting out and then doing this specific workout that I do where, I walk a mile and then I run almost another mile and do a stair workout. And I'm able to get this done in about 25 minutes in between my 2 classes in the morning. But I always do get nervous that as the days go on, that at some point they're going to have like people out here like patrolling maybe, and that I'm going to end up getting hassled. And I'm not even sure what I'm going to do in those moments. Like I tell myself like, well, don't freak out, don't cause a problem over it because it's not worth it. But then it's kind of like what we're talking about. Like it would be crazy if somebody approached me while I was on my walk or my jog and was like, hey, excuse me, sir, you can't be out here because you don't have a mask on. I'm like, I can't be outdoors. I can't be out in amongst the earth. Like I'm not allowed to do that now. Like that would be so crazy to me. And I worry that for my own psyche, I might end up losing it. And then I'm going to be on a freaking RIP t-shirt because I ain't going out like a sucker. Shit is going to be crazy, man. I don't know. It's every day. I mean, like I said, I already was having to be worried about like getting, with the Ahmaud Arbery situation. I was worried about having to be outside just in case for some shit like that. Everybody in my area seemed pretty chill, so I know it's not really on that type of shit no more. But now you have the added element of like, what happens if a cop wants to stop you because you don't have a mask and gloves on? And then it becomes a problem like that. So now it's like, it's just one more thing that I got to worry about going outside and potentially having to be killed over. Like being killed over your own fucking, like the things that they have written on paper that say you're allowed to do. Like we're literally about to start being like freaking killed over that type of shit, or harassed and potentially killed. Excuse me, I should say that because it's not guaranteed. But me versus you, it's more likely that it would happen to me than you, obviously. But I mean, just the thought of that is crazy. Like that's where we're at now. It's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
No, I told you they were policing the hiking trails out here.
Yeah, you did tell me that. They still doing that shit out there?
Apparently, so we've already entered phase 1 of reopening. So like restaurants and small, like, you know, like frozen yogurt places are open.
Okay, that's
casinos
lit.
are, yeah, hotel, but so I should say the hotel portion of the casinos are opening, taking reservations for June 1st.
Okay.
They are not sure when the actual gambling will open back up because they're still trying to work out how they can practice social distancing while trying to sit at a poker table.
Yeah.
So,
dang, you know, I think
I did hear.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I heard out here that the Muckleshoot place opened, like one of the casinos out here opened up already, which is crazy. So I'm surprised that they opened it, but Vegas hasn't. So they're gonna do that. And you said hotels open up June 1st, and then what were you saying after that?
I heard that Dre's, which is like the biggest club out here, is not going to be opening until next summer. And I heard that a lot of the clubs that will be happening.
Jeez, man. Next summer, Vegas clubs. You know what's crazy? I don't know. And even not ever having been to Vegas, this is something that I know. The pool parties out there in the summer are crazy. And I'm willing to bet that generates a ton of money. And then think about the buzz that it gets, like on, especially with social media now, and knowing that those venues who host those parties won't have the opportunity to have that income because they're, you know, everything's going to be closed for the summer. That will be so crazy. Crazy.
I know they're saying Vegas won't be the same. They don't know if it's going to recover. So.
And then you think in the September, they have football opening up too. Think about how crazy that was going to be. If none of this would have happened, y'all were going to have a brand new football team, a brand new stadium, obviously all the hotels. You're going to have everything going on. Vegas was going to be crazy this year, but not no more. Now,
I mean, ain't nobody on the Raiders anyway. But.
Yeah, but still, football in Vegas, that new stadium, that was going to be crazy. And now y'all just going to be like Seattle.
The new stadium is lit.
Oh, I bet. and
they just finished. Well, they're not completely finished, but they finally got, like, when I first moved here, it was just like the structure of it, you know, like the beams and stuff. It's finally like finished on the outside. It looks dope.
Damn, that's dope. That's dope. Yo, if you get out one day, you should shoot some photos and then post them up and send them to me. I want to see that shit. Yeah, that's just dope. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, I know I think we've been in phase 1 as well, but and I don't know. I try not to keep up with it too much because I'm trying to keep my stress down, but it does not seem as though we will be moving to phase 2. And on Tuesday, I was talking about how I kept hearing that they're looking to try to impeach Inslee because of all this like shutdown and all this type of shit. And I'm like, yo, y'all about to piss Buddy off. He ain't never gonna send us to phase 2. And I know gyms were a part of phase 3, which was not supposed to happen until June 22nd. I feel like we're never, unless LA Fitness just says fuck it, I'm probably never going back to the gym. I'm very disappointed. Yeah, like I said, I feel like we're gonna be stuck in phase 1 forever.
Yeah, I do. And you know what's weird is that I'm at the point now where I sat down today and I was like, where would we go if everything was open? I couldn't even think of a place that we would go.
Yeah. God, I don't even.
It just feels like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, I just want to play basketball. At this point, I would play outside too. But a lot of the outside courts out here, they're like, they literally like, some of these places have gone to the courts and like taken the rims off the hoops. I'm like, bro, this is outside. Literally, you're closing things that you put outside for people to always have access to. That is the weirdest thing to me. But like Home Depot, though, like was Home Depot? I understand that it probably falls in one of those categories like manufacturing or some shit like that. I don't know. But why is Home Depot and Lowe's and places like that allowed to be open forever and a day? But you literally have places outdoors that you're like, nope, we can have 50 to 60 people in a Home Depot, but y'all can't have 10 people on the basketball court at one time.
I know. I mean, Home Depot is like, it's home repair. So it's like if you're living somewhere and say you got like a leak through your roof or something, you got to be able to fix it.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it, and I love it because there's been things that we've needed from Home Depot to help, get the house in order and stuff. I know my roommate has been a frequent flyer at Lowe's and Home Depot over the past, month or so, but some of this stuff is just crazy, man. Like, I don't know. It really, when you start looking at it, because like I said, I'm one of the most annoying people on the planet because I will forever and a day be like, well, why is it this but not this? Like, why did you say we could do all these five things but not this one thing? Well, what's the fucking difference? And so I'm probably just gonna be one of these people that's arguing forever. So I'm getting a text that state parks are still closed. Yeah, like why are parks closed? I don't understand that. Like, why do you want people to just be inside forever? This shit is weird. Anyway, man, let's get to some of this other stuff. So I want to ask you. Yeah, well, no, none of this stuff is positive. Well, this is kind of positive, but also sad. I wanted to, send some love to. You heard about the former WWE wrestler Shad Gaspar, who he ended up going missing one day when he was swimming at the beach with his kid. And I guess he went to save his son, and I guess he didn't make it. And then they found his body washed up the other day. But that was crazy, man. Shout out to him for, putting his life on the line for his child. And I guess they were able to save his son. That's what I heard. But man,
his last words were literally "Save my son first."
Yeah, that's so crazy. Like, and then I guess they said he got a wave washed him up, and then they just never saw him again. I'm like, fuck. That is so crazy. RIP to Shad, doing the right thing by his child, shit, man. Prayers and thoughts to that family, though. That's crazy. And shout out to his son. Hopefully his son goes on to, really make a name for himself, carry on the legacy of his father. And hopefully this is kind of, the example for a lot of people, man. Like, there are some dads out there really doing the right thing. We got to give them, their roses while they're here. Because shit, we don't freaking know about it until they do some crazy stuff like this, man. But shout out to him for saving his son. There is a lot of things on this sheet today that are super crazy. So I had on here, there was a random machete attack in Nashville. Like, people are going crazy. We had Buddy last night live streaming a freaking shooting at a mall. I'm like, my mind was fucking blown when he had the girl pinned on the ground by the car. And she's like begging for her life. And literally my nigga was out there just trying to prove a point. Like, how are you drinking Modelo's and then pull up in your freaking 96 Altima and then get your AR and then just walk down the thing and just start shooting? And it's like, yo, thankfully we didn't lose anybody, but we still had 3 people wounded. And they still end up having to be traumatized for the rest of their life, all because this nigga's trying to make a fucking point, which I don't even understand. What is your point with all of this? Like, at the beginning of one of his videos, he said something to the effect of like, he was doing this because he thinks like all this stuff that we're going through right now is bullshit. And I'm like, so you don't like that you got to stay at home and you hate all the things that are attached to the pandemic. And so you go shoot the mall up and hit random people? My nigga, you're not even mad at the right people, bro. Like, what was the point of that? Mind blown. I couldn't believe he live streamed it. I feel like this is going to become a thing now. And now I'm a little bit nervous. Might as well just stay at home.
It's like the purge.
Fuck. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. You know what I did yesterday? I actually looked at a way to go legit, and I've been thinking about actually getting a license to carry rather than just being the person who just, from time to time always had a gun on me illegally, which was very stupid. But like I looked into it because I'm like, y'all might as well pay the money and get the permit, because then if niggas are gonna act stupid, then we freaking do what you gotta do, because apparently that's what they're fucking doing out here. Like I wouldn't want to be like, going to the mall and then a nigga like this pulls up. Crazy.
Yeah, your CWP doesn't cost that much either.
Yeah, and when I looked at it, I was like, this is like less than 150, $60. It wasn't even all that expensive.
Yeah, it was, I think it's 50. I think I paid 50 for mine. I have mine.
Oh, that's right, you do.
Honestly, I can't remember the last time I've actually carried in public. I have definitely had it in my glove compartment in my car, but
yeah. And so
I don't know. I'm always dealing with my kids, so I'm always like, God, what if my kid's knocking it's on my hip?
Yeah, that could be wild. You wouldn't want that to happen. So, like, when you get the license, it gives you the ability to carry it out in public, and then you just have to look at the list of all the places that will allow you to go into their establishments armed. Is that like what the smart people do? They just check it out before they go anywhere. But you can't take it everywhere with you. Like you can't go to government buildings and then schools and all that type of stuff armed, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Trying to think. I know you can travel with it, but you have to claim it. You have to state that you have one.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's some sort of process. I don't know. I've never tried to travel with it done, but
yo, that would be weird. I'm not trying to do none of that. I just been feeling like maybe it might be smart to do it and mainly a couple reasons. Mainly because we're transitioning into this time where, like I said, random machete attack. If I'm ever in a spot where a nigga starts swinging a machete, he's taking a couple shots to the kneecap, and we're gonna put a stop to that. I'm not playing with that, because I'm not trying to get hacked up or end up getting a big ass gash on my head or some shit because some niggas just tripped out off meth or some shit. That's not happening. But also nowadays, nobody ever wants to run it one-on-one. And people are really scary because they feel like they get disrespected, and then they want to come back and they want to shoot you. So you got to protect yourself. And then two is also, just the fact that if somebody want to get cute and try to break in, you got to just be ready. But I always try to tell myself I never wanted to get to the point where I had to go back to that. I want to try to live a peaceful life. But now I'm might as well just have it for protection, because niggas are acting stupid more than ever. Or it's just on tape more than ever. I don't know which one it is. I feel like people have been stupid, but now we just see it more than ever. It's just crazy. Okay, Priscilla, did you hear that the guy who recorded Buddy being murdered in the street has now been arrested and charged with murder?
I sure did. And I'm sure glad he got it too, because if you're going to sit back there and witness something like that, you better not think you're going to get away with that. That is just as bad as murder. You let it happen.
Well, he was planning to participate. I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
I mean, you can hear him on the video cocking back a gun. He was ready to also shoot. He was not planning to shoot at the people shooting. He was planning to shoot the guy, and instead he just said, well, they're already shooting him. I'll just film it. So yeah, I think he is just as guilty. I'm not again, with most of this stuff, I don't get too hyped up over people being charged, because people beat charges every day. But I do think it's a step in the right direction, just to kind of set the example. You got to let people know, y'all not going to get away with this. Just I think it's dope that the FBI has decided to open up an investigation into the murder of Breonna Taylor. Yeah. I think that's important, because what are we going to do? Keep letting people get away with this type of shit? Y'all, listen, they make examples out of Black people every single day to try to ensure that other people don't do these things ever again. At what point do you start taking those same steps with white people? They had an opportunity to make an example out of Lori Loughlin, but look at her getting off easy, while other people who are not white do the same exact things and get the harshest and stiffest penalties. We see it all the time, like this balance and power, all this type of shit. It needs to shift. And so I think the FBI has a real opportunity to put a real big stop to this police force in Kentucky. We had the same opportunity to do the same shit to these people in Georgia for them not doing the right thing. And like, yeah, we miss some of these ones. Like I'm bringing Lori's name up because she's on the show tonight for being a garbage human who cheated to get her kids into college and then has somehow found a way to get out of that shit. You know, because like I said, it's obvious that as long as you have some status, you have some money, and you have the power of white on your side, you can get away with anything. And that is kind of the point with some of this stuff. Like Buddy, who filmed this murder of Ahmaud, was literally gonna walk away. You remember, like when this first happened, and after the video broke, he went out like the next day and tried to get on TV talking about, I want to clear my name because people think I had something to do with it. Like he tried to get out in front and be like, no, I don't want no part of this. I'm like, no, but you are a part of it. Because like what you said, Priscilla, he let the shit happen.
Yeah.
He let it fucking happen. So of course you were a part of it. Trying to come back after the fact and saying that you're not because you see the people who participated getting crucified by the internet. Now all of a sudden you're like, I got to protect myself because I don't want to look stupid. Like, nah, you should have just owned up in the beginning. We heard you on tape cocking your gun as if you were planning to participate, but instead you just filmed it. You watched this dude get executed over nothing and you didn't do anything about it except turn the video in 3 weeks later. Or whenever he turned it in. But he didn't do anything to stop it. So, you know, like I said, he not innocent in any type of way. All this shit is crazy, man. I feel like that's all I'm seeing lately is bullshit.
You hear that the state of Jersey came out and declared racism as a statewide epidemic?
Oh, I did not hear that. When was that?
I just read the article today. I'm not sure.
I ain't gonna lie. I did take a 3-hour nap today, and then in our world, 3 hours is like a lifetime of information can be missed on the internet. So no, I must have missed that. That's crazy. But you know what? Yeah, about fucking time. And the other 49, they need to go ahead and do it too, because it's like this shit everywhere. There's not one state in America that doesn't have this problem. I feel like the race pandemic trumps coronavirus. Damn, is it wrong that I said that? No, it's not.
No.
Because coronavirus is very new. And I'm sorry to anybody who's lost their life due to coronavirus. That is hella sad. And they did not deserve that. But this race thing is literally since the dawn of time, it feels like. And honestly, it starts in this country when bitch ass Christopher Columbus comes over here and finesses our natives, off of their land and tries to claim it for their own. It goes all the way back to that time. If you guys think this shit is bullshit, it's not. And so I think there is a pandemic of how people of color get treated in this country and how white people have tried to claim every fucking thing as their own and how they just continue on a daily basis. They just continue to mistreat people. And it doesn't have to be like that. Some of y'all just got to get your heads out of your asses. And I love that we have so many white people who are like, no, they're not here for that shit. And that's why some of this stuff that we go through, one thing that keeps me hopeful is that because we have the ability to have so many voices talk at one time, that holds a lot more power than we think it does. But we do got to get people to sometimes like shut up and let a one or like a few people make a plan and actually like execute that shit. Because too many cooks in the kitchen can be bad, but we do have enough power to make some of these things happen. So shout out to New Jersey for finally doing the right thing. And hopefully we see more states to follow.
I was gonna say too, the natives, I can't remember the exact number. It was either like 50 million. It wasn't 500 million. It was a lot of damn money that they were supposed to receive as their stimulus to divvy out between the tribes. They got absolutely nothing.
It's bullshit, man. Such bullshit. And I forget who it was. Somebody sent me a video the other day. Shit, it might have been you. or maybe it wasn't. I don't know. They sent me some video with some white girl that everybody wants canceled because she was talking about this stimulus package or something, and she was like ranting and raving about the money that was supposed to go to the tribes and saying that they didn't deserve it. And anytime I hear when people say that people in the tribes don't deserve anything, I'm like, fam, like my people have been treated terribly. But the way that Native Americans have been treated, bro, don't even get me started. That is on a whole other level of horrible. Like, it's unreal. So the fact that they are not getting the benefits that they deserve, again, it's just, bro, can you imagine if for what seems like thousands of years, your people are just getting disrespected? It feels like thousands, but it's only hundreds. Still so many years. Just pure disrespect, continuous, over and over and over again, by people who are walking around telling everybody that they care about them. And it's like what you were saying yesterday. This is like we're letting like 50 or 60 people control like a billion people. And we're letting those 50 or 60 people try to tell us that parts of this billions of people are terrible and garbage and we shouldn't fuck with them. Why would we allow those 50 people to convince us that the rest of us are terrible? Why are we not all banding together and being like, yo, F y'all? Like, why are we not doing that? I don't know, man. Let's talk about something good. If you live in the state of California, there's a chance you will be able to go to college, and it won't matter if you've taken ACT or SAT, because it looks like they are phasing out those tests and they're going to allow people to go to college without them. Priscilla, how does that make you feel?
I didn't hear your last part. You cut out. You said what?
So in the state of California, they're phasing out the requirements of like the ACT and the SAT in order to get into college. So they're going to do away with that. How do you feel about that?
I mean, hey, if it was me, I'd be like, hey, great.
Yeah, I feel like this is
been a while.
This is like 10, 15 years too late, man. I wish this would have been the deal back when I was in high school. I would have went to any college I wanted to. But I think they said something along the lines of because they lost like $47 million worth of revenue, I guess they're maybe doing this in hopes that more people will start coming back to college. I think people are starting to really be like, yo, fuck college, and they don't want to go no more. And I don't know,
they're starting to see that it's just another business.
Yeah. I don't blame them. I wouldn't go either. I didn't go. I mean, I went for a little bit and then I stopped going. I did the Kanye West thing.
I went and I have never used my degree, to be honest with you.
And what's your degree in?
It's technically a bachelor's of arts and sciences, but I got my minor in audio engineering.
Dang, that's pretty dope.
In digital media, yeah. I went to LA Film School, so it was
I remember you told me
when I first started going there, it was considered a trade school, and then my second year there, they had just introduced a bachelor's program.
Dang.
So
okay.
I ended up being able to get my bachelor's in 3 years due to this program, and then I ended up moving back to Seattle, and I never used it. Like I use it to say that I have a degree. But as far as like actually using what the degree is that I got, I've never used it for that.
Yeah. You know, I have a lot of friends that have done that. And I'm somebody like, I mean, obviously, you know what I do outside of this. I tell all the students I work with, they're like, yo, I want you to push and do everything you can and go to college, get those experiences, gain that knowledge, get that degree. I will tell people that you should do that. But I think for me, I'm like, no, like now, if a college was like, yes, you can come here and we will pay for everything and you can have this free education, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do that. But like them wanting me to pay them to learn, at this point, you can literally just go on Google. And if I want to learn the stuff, all the materials online. Why would I pay thousands of dollars to get a sheet of paper when I can just use the resources for free on the internet? Now I know it's not the same, and obviously you're not getting the credit, and you're not going to be able to go tell people that you have this specific title. But look at all these people who have all these fancy degrees, and then when they go to the party, they're just who they are. They're just Sid and Nancy and Mark and Tammy and Nick, and they're just these people. You're not motherfucker that got this degree. Don't, at this point, nobody really even cares about that shit. I mean, I guess it depends on your circle. Maybe because my circles are down here and those upper echelon of people, maybe they do care about that. But like, I don't choose to value people based on whether or not they have some degree. Like, cool. Like you went to LA film school, but like, you're my friend. I fuck with you because you're dope people, not because you have a degree. Like I know people who have master's degrees that don't even have a job as good as mine. What were they doing all those years? And what was I doing? I was fucking playing basketball and getting fat and getting high. Like I wasn't doing none of the shit they were doing. I don't have that degree, but like, fuck, man. Like it is what it is.
I am honestly, I went to college. I got a degree because of my parents, because it was such a big deal to my parents for me to go to school and graduate and do all those things.
Yeah.
And it just like, even now, like both of my parents are baby boomers, you know? So like it's a completely different era that they grew up in. Like my dad grew up in a time where you could go to college to get a job that could actually support your life.
Yeah.
Now you go to college to get a job and be in debt with student loans and to not even make a decent enough wage to pay your rent.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
And I mean, I'm going to tell my kids, you want to go to college, that's great, but do it because you want to.
Hell yeah.
And make sure it's like I'm really going to push the whole trade school thing. Like it took me 3 months to get my personal training certification. 3 months. It cost me $1,200. And I mean, plus I had to pay for CPR.
Yeah.
But that's something that like I love doing. And it's, you know, like it's nice to be, I was just talking to Seth today about it. I'm like, I didn't realize how much going to work and doing my job is like, it's fun for me.
Yeah.
It's like kicking it with people. Like I really enjoy it. I didn't realize that's why I didn't have it.
And that's the thing is like, if you love what you do, then no one should be able to tell you that you're not qualified to do something just because you didn't go this specific route. Now I understand we have a lot of professions where like you need specific requirements in order to participate at the highest level. I get that, but like, it's crazy to me that like so many people look down on people who, you know, even if they went to college, if they didn't finish or they don't have some fancy degree and they're like, oh, you know, you're not as good as this person and da 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 da. It's like, is that person happy though? Like me, I'm happy with where I'm. For the first one of the few times in my life I've been happy has been the last like year or so when I decided to no longer stress about chasing some crazy ass title that ultimately, you know, hopes and proves that I'm someone worthy of being in certain circles. And I'm just, listen, this is where I'm at. This is what I do. And then I do my other job, which actually is full-time. I tell people it's a part-time job because my love and my care and my investment is in all of this stuff. And if someone's to ask me if I'm happy, I'd be like, hell yeah. Because I don't feel like I'm confined. I'm not overly stressed because I'm like, you know, trying to take on all this extra work and hope that some boss is going to notice me and then want to give me a raise and a better title. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people do chase that. If you're happy doing that, then that's where it's at. But like, I spent years and years going to jobs where I wasn't happy. And people that I work with, if you ever wonder why I was such an asshole while I was at work, some of it is just because I'm an asshole, but a lot of it is because there's a lot of stress and pressure that was applied by myself and by other people to try to be something that I did not really care about being. I didn't even want to work half those jobs I work with these people, but I love doing this shit. And this is where it's at. So like you love training, if you love that shit and you said 3 months to get all that done and to make money to help people improve their lives and shit like that, that's dope. But can't nobody tell you anything about that. That's lit.
Yeah, like I think in Washington, the base rate, like if I were to go to work at like a 24-hour fitness in Washington, it was like $24 an hour, $20 an hour.
Yeah.
And like really the key to making money personal training is doing it privately, like taking your own clients and booking. Like you rent out a gym the same way you like rent a chair at a hair salon, like at a hair salon if you were a stylist, you know?
Yeah.
But like even like $24 an hour for 3 months of schooling is decent. It's not bad. Like if I were 18, 19 and I was like, dang, I only have to do something for 3 months and I get paid $25 an hour.
Bro, $25 an hour. There's not a lot of people that make money like that. I know out here on the West Coast, there kind of is because, you know, pay rates are high like that. But there are not a lot of people across our country making that type of money hourly. And you know what's funny is that a lot of these jobs that like people shit on are the ones that you actually want to have. You know, we all used to make fun. You remember when your teachers used to be like, "Oh, if you don't learn this, you're gonna be a garbage man the rest of your life. You're gonna be a complete garbage person." And them niggas be making like 80 racks a year. Yeah, I'll go pick up trash all fucking day for 80 racks a year. Shit,
for real.
Like, why not? It's job security. That's the other thing is that we look at some of these things and we're like, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm like, oh, you don't want to have job security? Because like, is retiring a thing for anybody anymore? Unless you're already rich, probably not. You're probably going to have to work. Why not work a job that you can have security in? Doesn't make sense. But some of these people, man, they'll sit there until they're blue in the face telling you all day about how you are making a bad decision by not going to college and not getting a degree. I'm like, nah, man, like I'm just pacing myself. Like I said, if the government wants to pay for it all and they want to give me the education for free, I'll take it. And especially now because we can't go to school anymore. If it's all going to be online classes, I got plenty of time now. I'm definitely down to do it. And then maybe I could figure out how to reopen Victoria's Secret. Did you see how they're closing all their stores? Or at least most of them?
Wow, no, I did not know that. I don't shop at Victoria's Secret. Oh.
You know what? I came to the conclusion today that I feel like they're probably closing down because everybody's just online naked anyway. So Victoria's Secret has no longer has use because girls are just naked on the internet, and so are men. I don't know. Everyone's just fucking butt naked now. We're basically not going to be wearing clothes in 2 years.
Like, as a woman, I'm not paying $75 for a bra that doesn't even last. Like, the last bra I bought from them maybe lasted me, like, 3 months. And then, like, the clasp was, like, breaking. The underwire was, like, digging into my thigh because it had popped out the bra. I was like, this is bullshit.
So, are the clothes not quality? Is that the problem, you think? Why do you think they're actually closing?
I think they're closing because it used to be Victoria's Secret was like the one place where you could go to get quality lingerie. Like there wasn't a lot of other places. You either went to the adult sex shop or you went to Victoria's Secret. It's like the high-end lingerie. And then as time went on, now you have these little Instagram boutiques. You have Amazon. You have these places where you can order all that shit online.
Yeah.
And it's not like the last piece of lingerie I bought from Victoria's Secret was like $120.
Damn, is that expensive? Oh, that sounds expensive.
It's like you wear it for like what, like 5 seconds?
I mean, gosh, yeah, maybe longer if the nigga don't know how to take it off. I mean, dang, that's crazy. 120. Okay, so wow, did you wear it?
Yeah, are you kidding me? I wore it, and I wore it in a photo shoot too because.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I bought it for other reasons, but I am such like I can't even think of the word without being derogative. I was like, I can't believe I spent $120 on something that like literally I wore for one night. It's not like I wore it a long time. Yeah. And so I was like, well, I ended up using it in a photo shoot that I had later on. But I'm like, still, like, it's like lace. Like, it's not even the material.
Yeah. Damn, $120 for something that you barely wear. That's crazy. But at the same
wrong. Don't get me wrong, but
I feel it because I understand, like, sometimes having this conversation off and on with women, I've come to the understanding that, like, most women will justify purchasing these expensive garments because, it makes them feel really sexy. They you look good, feel good, all these things. And I'm like, well, then, yeah, hell yeah, it's worth it. But then I'm looking at it like, well, now I see why these niggas are at a business. Like, people are really like, you can't pay that price forever for these things.
No.
You're all going to always have a hard time justifying. And plus, at some point, like, do you really continue to care about how you look for 5 fucking minutes? And do you really want to spend hundreds of dollars on that? Especially when you were talking about, like, you have all these other services where they're doing, like, buy 5 of these for like $80. Like, I see girls talk about that type of stuff all the time. They're going where the deals are now. Like,
I'm not even gonna lie to you either. Like, the last couple pieces of lingerie that I bought were off of Amazon. They were not more than $30, and they were bomb as fuck.
There you
go. And I was like, I'm cool with it. Yeah, I'm so cool with it.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. That's what I've seen is, like, you see more people, they're looking at those types of services rather than a place like Victoria's Secret. I mean, like I said, I don't know because I don't wear lingerie, so I don't know what it does. I'm just basing off some of the conversations that I've had with people. But man, I don't know, $120 for some underwear. God, what would be like the men's equivalent to that? Like silk boxers or something. Know. Like silk boxers for like $75. Like, I'll be like, bro, why would I ever pay that? If I paid $75 for some underwear, there would have to be a no farting policy. Because the second you fart on those things, they go from being $75 worth to like $5 draws. Be over.
like a fart pad.
Yeah. You have to have like a fart pad. Yeah, you can't, because once they start stinking like fart, bro, it's over. It wouldn't be worth it. Okay. So I want to get into a couple of funny things. So, I mean, listen, Lori Loughlin is trash. That's all I want to say about that. If there are any people watching this or end up watching this, if they thought Lori Loughlin was cool, what is she from? She's from Full House. Isn't that what she's from?
Mm-hmm.
Lori Loughlin sucks. And she sucks because she cheated. She got caught. And she used her power and privilege to finesse her way into trouble, which I guess, like, if you had that opportunity, I get it. But I will never forget about the fact that there's a lady right now doing time in prison for putting her parents' address on her daughter's transcript so her daughter could have an opportunity to have a great education. She's having to do time in prison for that. Lori cheated to get her daughters into college, and then she's basically going to walk away with a slap on the wrist. And it's because she's white and because she has money and she knows people. This is pathetic. So Lori is a garbage human.
Yeah, man.
I hope Lori trips on the steps and knocks her front teeth out, kind of like Jason Derulo did in this TikTok video. Have you seen that? Do you think that shit is real?
I did not even see it.
So I guess
Jason Derulo.
Yeah, I guess I put this because people are saying that he's like a TikTok genius. He's been making these crazy videos. And he made one where he put like a cob of corn on like a drill or something and was like doing it. But people are saying
I
that
do
it's
know what
fake.
you're talking about.
Yeah, they're saying that it's fake. I don't know. I saw the video. It looked like he knocked his damn teeth out. And if he did, then that's what you get for being stupid as hell. But at the same time, his TikTok is popping right now. And I'm not even a TikTok person, but I don't know, man. Some of these videos are pretty creative. If you're looking for ways to, like, entertain yourself during quarantine and find ways to be funny, like, maybe Jason should start doing tutorials or something, because he apparently is keeping himself very entertained. But I think maybe him knocking his teeth out, maybe it was real. I don't know. It looked kind of real. I don't know. You ever knocked your teeth out?
No. I have a huge fear of teeth in general. Like, I hate going to the dentist. I did not like losing teeth as a kid. I have the heart. My daughter lost her 2 front bottom teeth, and I like called my mom in like a panic attack. It just, no, I don't do teeth. I have like a phobia.
Not doing the teeth thing. Yeah, maybe this video ain't for you. It looked like Buddy knocked his teeth out. But like, you know what's funny? People automatically went to, you know how I know it's fake? There's no blood. As if like you can't just chip your teeth. I thought that was funny. And then, I don't know. It's just funny to see the things that some people say. And like, yo, it's like, bro, think about this before you hit send. Like, you can knock your teeth out and there not be blood. Like, they can break in half. You can break your little chiclets. Shit, I know my brother has fake teeth. He got his teeth knocked out during a game one time. Which that was funny as hell.
Oh.
But like, not like somebody did it to him. Like, he like ran. I think it was something like he was in the game and then he ran off the field, but ran back on real quick and then didn't have his mouthpiece in. And then I guess he goes to dive to make a catch in the end zone and he catches the ball, but the way he fell because he didn't have his mouthpiece in, he ended up knocking his teeth out. And so he had to go get fake teeth. Yeah. And even when he told me that, I was like, bro, I almost threw up. I'm like, this shit is mad, but you can't tell. Like, yeah. That shit is crazy. But yeah, I have been hit across the face with a brick, and I thought all my teeth had been knocked out. And they're solid. I mean, they're ugly as hell, but they're strong too. But I don't know. I'm thinking about I need to get me some new teeth. I want a whole brand new set. I'm trying to flex on it. That's how I really want to flex. When you know that I've made it is when I pull up on y'all on IG with a brand new set of teeth. And you're gonna be like, yo, this nigga's brand new now. Look at him with those teeth. Boy, I'm telling you, I'm gonna be looking like Gucci, man. You saw how Gucci came back with them brand new teeth and shit? That's gonna be me. All right, do you ever watch 90 Day Fiance?
No.
All right,
I have not. But the whole concept is just ridiculous. Y'all crazy.
Yes, so same for me. I don't watch the show, but I think the concept is far and beyond ridiculous. It's very interesting though. But apparently there's a couple on there, and it's a white lady and a black guy. And I want to make sure I read the article because apparently this nigga came here and he's a rapper. So he came from the other country, and apparently he's a rapper. And I guess she received some flack yesterday or the day before because I don't know if it was on the show or what, but I guess she called her own husband the N-word.
Oh.
Yeah, I know that's not funny. I shouldn't be laughing at that. It's funny. I feel like if you end up on a video calling your own husband the N-word, that is crazy, bro. Let's see. I gotta find this shit because I was laughing. Okay, because obviously, you know, I love making fun of people on this show when they do fake apology videos for being racist. So it says her husband's Nigerian, and so I guess her name is Lisa Ham or Hame. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm terrible. Her husband's name is Usman Umar. Sorry if I pronounced his name wrong. He's an aspiring rapper who goes by the name Soulja Boy. Sojaboy. So
wait, you don't know like Soulja Boy, oh, that guy?
No.
Like Soulja Boy? Like is that supposed to be original?
I don't.
Am I dating myself right now?
I feel like we've started to travel back in time, and now people are not only are we remaking movies and music, but people are just recreating old rap careers, and apparently that's what he's doing. Oh my god!
Is that supposed to be original? I don't even understand.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess if you spell it differently, then you're good because he spelled it Soja. But it says that she tearfully admitted to calling her Nigerian husband the N-word, and fans have slammed her playing the victim to distract from her history of problematic behavior. I love it, man, because then people always come for you. So and this is like a quote. It is said that if you sin and you apologize and you pray for forgiveness, it is forgiven. So my husband and I, it is a private matter between him and I, because they're not going to drop it, but it's sad because the world needs to be united. We are human beings. Nice try, asshole. That part I added. She didn't say that. I said that to her. So the 52-year-old who until marrying Umar online was Christian, then went on to say that she was most hurt by the ugly messages she received from her fellow Muslim sisters.
Oh, gosh.
If you listen, I don't know who watches this or not, but if I've never seen, I think I've seen like clips of this show, but all I know is that the premise of the show is apparently it's desperate ass Americans. They're usually white, and they end up marrying people from other countries. So recently we saw the one where like the guy had no neck, and then he married a girl who hadn't brushed her teeth in like 100 years or some shit like that. I don't know. This shit is crazy. I do not watch this show, but I do think it's funny how this lady called her husband the N-word, and then she's upset that people shamed her, and then she said that she was most hurt by her fellow Muslim sisters. Bro, that is so crazy. Hold on. She then threatened to leave social media altogether, saying, "I am a wife and I am a mother. I won't say no more because I love my husband. He loves me. And the world just doesn't want to accept that." I mean, lady, you called your husband the N-word. And she cried on the video.
So I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
You already know where this is going.
Yeah, she's white. Oh, well, go ahead. What's your question?
She's white?
Yeah.
Okay, and was this like during like a sexual encounter, or was this like an angry like?
Does it matter?
I mean, because there are some dudes who are into that shit.
Yo, for real? Like you've heard of black guys being like, "Yo, when I'm intimate with a girl, I like my white girl to call me nigga in bed."
Yes. I've been with one.
What? Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Yo, my mind is blown right now. This is the first time I've ever heard this. We're about to have a whole episode just on this alone. Holy shit, that's crazy. Yo.
Like, he was super into it. So I'm just wondering.
Like, did he want you to say it like DMX? Like, yo, my nigga, what's up? Is that how you were saying it?
No, like.
Don't say it on air.
N-word.
Yo! What? He told you to say that? This is crazy.
He was like, yeah, like it. Yeah, like it was.
Yo.
He was like, I like that shit. Or there's like, F me with your end dick. They're like,
yo. My mind is literally blown right now. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. I will say this. I thought
it was like a common thing.
No, shit. I don't know. I don't know about him or the type of brothers he be hanging out with. And unless my friends are just into some weirdo shit that I don't know about, I will never ever be okay with a girl calling me nigga during sex. No, that's not something I'll request because that just sounds crazy to me, bro. Like, no, this is crazy. Okay, so we're wondering if she said it during a sexual encounter. Well, we weren't, but now we are. I don't know if that's the case. Either way, she was on IG crying because she felt like she was being shamed by people. But now we're into a whole nother world. Now I have to know, are people really doing this? Are there really brothers out here asking girls to call them nigga during sex?
I mean, there are like porns like that online.
I always be having that shit on mute. I don't be listening because I don't be wanting to hear the dialogue. I don't want to hear them be like, "Yo, baby, what's your degree
How do you
in?"
watch porn on mute?
Because listen, because there's I feel like on times when I have had the sound on, sometimes the moaning seems too fake. And then, you know, these dudes are like trying to ask about background story, like, yo, where you from? Like, da da da. Like, I don't want to hear that. Nigga, we know why you're here. You came over to do repairs with no shirt on. Like, we know why you're here. Like, no one goes to a house with a hammer and two of the same screwdriver with no shirt on just to go over to do repair. You came over to fuck. Go ahead and get it over with. I don't need to hear the sound. Yo, Steph just said you just fast forward. You got to have audio. Nah, I don't really care if Buddy's asking the girl what her hopes and dreams are. I don't want to hear none of that. So I just turn it off. And then when she's doing all that screaming, you can kind of tell when it's fake. You can tell. I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, that's a turn off.
Yeah. So I'll just be like, let it be on mute, you know, and then just, you know, anyway. I'm still my mind is blown.
Head. You were the first man I've ever met that says they watch porn on mute.
I just watch it on mute from time to time. Plus, you gotta think like it depends on where you're watching it too. It's better to be on mute because I don't want people to walk up and be like, "Oh yeah, he in there. Yeah, nigga, we hear you in there. Go ahead and finish, and then come out." I don't want nobody doing that to me. So like I wanted to be on mute, you know, that way I can flip to a different screen real quick. People are like, what are you doing? I was just looking at stories online. Got a show tonight. And then you just, you know, you play it off nice and smooth. But if it's loud and you hear, you can't be like, oh, I'm watching a documentary on human anatomy. Exactly. So you got no comebacks. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have it on mute. But my mind is still blown that we have brothers really out here requesting. What do you call it? Is that like oppression sex? Is that what that is?
The thing is that I have a lot of friends who are not Black who date Black men, and it's like I've talked to a couple people that they've been like, yeah, he really likes that shit. Like,
yo, that's crazy.
At first, but.
That is so crazy.
Like now as a grown woman, I'd be like, I don't know. But then I was like, okay, whatever. But like, I was also a lot younger and dumb.
I mean, listen, my mind is blown specifically by the fact that would be something that would be requested. Like, I can't imagine where like I'm rushing to get my clothes off and I'm like, hey, just don't forget this time. Make sure you say, yo, fuck me, nigga. Remember how I like that shit. Don't play with me this time, you know? And you're like going to take it off and then you jump it. Like, I can't imagine having that talk with a girl that I'm sleeping with and then be like, yeah. And then, you know, I'm like, and then she's like, yeah, nigga. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, that would be crazy. But yeah, that's crazy. There's hella racist
porn too. Like, I've stumbled across porn on Pornhub. Like,
I be having it on mute. I have no idea.
No, but I'm talking about like they're like dressed up like it's fucking 1865.
Oh, okay. I see you. Like, God.
Like, it's the slave.
Like plantation like shit. Like niggas having plantation sex and shit.
Hold on, I'm gonna send you a link right now.
So Priscilla's gonna send me a link to where you can watch people have oppression sex. That's what we're calling it now.
The Slave. It's an original movie on xnxx.com.
Wow.
Black slave forced to mate an African girl in chains. Black racial tensions in a racial compilation. Hold on. I gotta send you this. Black slave pounces on a white servant.
This show is lit. Like, I fucking love this shit. This is why I love this.
This shit is real.
This is fucking real. I've learned. So I'm gonna tell you guys, I learned 2 things today. Today, my roommate taught me about composting. I finally figured out what the fuck that was. And then I've learned that there are black guys out here requesting to be called nigga during sex by their girls. And there apparently is like a whole slave category of porn on some site. This is crazy. I wonder what people are getting paid to be in a video and be shackled and be treated like a slave and then have to be intimate. I don't even know if my dick would be able to be hard if a white girl was like calling me nigga while like I'll be like,
Okay.
really though? Really though? You gonna call me
I
that?
sent it. I just sent it to you.
Let me read this title to y'all. Just so I'm not gonna open it because I don't want to open this right now.
Watch it.
But this just says black slave pounce on a white servant for fuck with. That's not even English. Oh my god, they put for fuck with. I can't believe I love this show. This is crazy. This is crazy. I have people text me saying that doesn't even happen in porn. Yeah, it does. We've been watching the wrong shit. Apparently it does. I got video proof.
There's another one called Homie in the Haystack. I'm about to
Homie in the Haystack.
Wow, it's like they're in the field and he's like working the field. I'm watching it right now. This is crazy. They're in a barn and she's in a bonnet. Like it's the 1800s.
All right, I had to open this one.
You have to open it.
Let me make sure. I can't. Okay, I can't. Yo, bro.
It's like a thing.
I did not know this is a whole thing. I've exceeded my quota for learning retention today. Between composting and brothers demanding to be called the N-word during sex. I don't have enough in me to learn anymore today. This is craziness. This is a whole how did you even find this? Somebody put you onto this?
I do not personally watch this, but I do watch a lot of interracial porn. So
okay, that makes sense.
It just like it happens to come up when I'm browsing.
Right.
Like I have no problem saying that I'm an avid porn watcher. I'm a single
ain't nothing wrong with
so
that.
I'm not getting no D.
Listen, this quarantine time, I feel like everybody's been watching it. This is crazy though.
But I see it come up all the time. Like it pops up in interracial like something like that. And like it kills the vibe. I'm like, what the hell is this? This bitch is wearing a bonnet. This dude's like in overalls, like on some freaking like it's just straight fuckery.
Yo. You know what? I want to say thank you because now that I know this, so okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm likely to walk around and probably be an asshole and profile people and be like, yo, he looked like one of them niggas that let his girl call him nigga during sex. I'm telling you, I probably will say some dumb shit like that from time to time. But if it does happen, I want everyone to go back to this episode and you know that it's not racist. Just know or prejudice or judgmental. Just know that we're just trying to we want people to be their true selves. Like if you really feel like you need to do something like that, maybe we need to have a intervention or something. That is just so crazy to me, bro. I can't imagine being like, yes, baby, give it to me how daddy like it. Call me the N-word.
Call me the N-word.
No.
Just texted me. She says you was searching for BBC.
Wildin'. So funny. God, that would be crazy. And now, you know what? Now I'm going to be on the lookout for it. Because I'm going to be like, yo, I wish you would call me that. Anybody. I'm like, don't call me this. It's going to be on the list of things you say to people. Before we get into this, I'm going to tell you the things that I don't like. I have very sensitive skin. I don't like a lot of liquids. And I don't want to be called the N-word. All right? And liquids, I meant like body liquids, cool. But like juice and shit being poured on me, that's not cool. All right.
Oh, I was like, what do you mean You don't like liquid?
No. I don't want someone to come in and pour a gallon of orange juice on me while I'm bumping. I don't want that. That's
we
what
know
I mean.
You like pizza.
Yeah, I'll eat pizza off of booty. I mean, I'm cool with that. Sushi. I'll eat just about any food off of a booty. Yeah, yes, Steph, liquids like juice and fucking and shit like that. You know, gasoline, lighter fluid. I don't want, like, if people like to play with shit like that, I don't want to do none of that. Like, if you trying to spray WD-40 on my kneecaps right before we get into it, I'm not a fan of that. All right. This is crazy, but yeah. No lava, no nunchucks, and no N-word during sex. Those are three of my triggers. Don't do that. Priscilla, is there anything else crazy that you want to tell us? Fuck, man, my mind is blown now. Do we even have any more stories? You know, speaking of, one of the stories I had on here was, did you see where they caught these two people in Brooklyn having sex down in the subway? Like,
no.
Full on tape of Buddy hitting her from behind, and it's just somebody across the way just recording them. They're just down waiting for the train, and the nigga couldn't.
I mean, that just sounds like some exhibitionist shit.
Yeah, you know, some people, they're not trying to wait till they get home. Let me get this before the train come. You know, I get it.
Some people are into voyeurism. That's a porn genre too. Like,
that's true. That
some
is
people
very
like to be watched.
true. Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder, you know, I wonder if, like, the cop, so Steph's asking about chocolate. Yeah, I mean, hot chocolate, a little bit cool, but I don't want to get third-degree burns because the chocolate fountain was too fucking hot. I'm not trying to do all that crazy stuff. A little bit here and there is cool, but, you know, like I said, I draw the line just right before they get to saying the N-word. Yeah. I can't imagine, you know, like, not wearing my mask while I'm out in public bumping. If you're gonna bump, at least have the mask on, you know? I don't know, maybe some gloves too. I feel like the mask was important. You should have had the mask on. This has been a crazy show, man. I don't even know what else to talk about. My mind is literally blown. I keep saying that because this is just the craziest shit to me. I really did not know that there are people that actually request that type of shit. But I guess that makes sense. I mean, there's grown ass men that pay money to put on diapers and have women whip them and hold them and treat them like babies and shit like that. So I'm not surprised that there's niggas out here that want to be oppressed while they get booty. It happens. Like, let me ask you this, Pete. Was your boy, like, you know, telling you, like, yo, baby, oppress me? That's what I like. Oppress daddy. Keep oppressing it. Like, was he telling you that? And then you were like, okay,
no,
okay.
I think it was like a dominant thing. Like, it was, I don't know, maybe he had some deep-rooted issues against white people.
That shit is wild.
Yeah, like, it was like one of those, like, you know what it was? It's like that mentality, like, some dudes have, like, oh, your fucking dad would hate the fact you're fucking a black dude right now. That type of shit. Like,
yeah. See, even then,
which is kind of weird because
even if I had, like, that feeling, I think I'd be more likely to, like, if I was trying to, like, spite your father by sleeping with you, I would force you to call me daddy. I wouldn't want you to call me the N-word. Like, that doesn't make sense to me in my head. Like, if I'm trying to get back at y'all, call me nigga. Like, what? That's how you, like, never mind. I get, if he's requesting that, maybe he doesn't know the history of our people. Wait, he was a black dude, right? I guess if he's asking, I don't know. I wonder if there's any white guys who ask their white girlfriend to call them nigga during sex.
I mean, I think it's more common.
That would be funny.
Like, this is not the first time I've heard this. Like, I've heard it from men. I've heard it from women. Like,
oh, that's crazy. I've never heard that before. God, and if I have, I probably just was like, yeah, right, and just like kept laughing at something else. That doesn't even sound real to me. I mean, I believe it because you're telling me, so I can't imagine. It's not lies. I know you don't lie, so I have no reason to doubt you. But this shit is just crazy. Now I want to be like, brother, it's okay. She don't have to treat you like that.
You don't gotta oppress you during sex,
bro. You don't have to have oppression sex. Like that don't sound appealing. I don't know.
Even
man.
in like some of like the couple porn where it's like husband watches his wife get fucked by a black guy.
Yeah, that's
like,
always weird.
Be like, you like that ending? Like,
yo, you know what? I missed that because I had that motherfucker on mute. Yep. See, maybe I should have the sound on. I would have known about this shit. Let's see.
See, I have to watch I can't. If the moment a chick makes the sound and it sounds like that, oh yeah, like it's a wrap for me.
Yeah, you gotta turn it off. It kills the mood. Yeah.
But I'm not a dude, so I know for sure when a woman is taking it, and I'm like, oh, this is whack now. Kill my vibe.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm sure that I can't tell most times because as a man, I won't pretend like I can tell every time a girl's faking it. We're not that good at detecting it, but a lot of times in porn, you can see it on their faces. You can tell that it's not real. And if you look at that mixed with how Buddy's stroking it, you can tell if he's actually doing damage or not. And most of the time, they're not. It's obvious. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But now I'm gonna have to keep the sound on because I need to hear one of these dudes ask the girl to call him the N-word. And on that note, we're gonna get ready to close this out. Listen, if you've been listening on Track Talk Radio, I hope you have enjoyed this show. Obviously, it was great. Anytime we have Priscilla or Steph, any of these people who have these wild ass stories, God, this shit is always turned up, man. I love this shit. Priscilla, shout out to you. I appreciate how open you are. You make the show hilarious. I hope you don't mind me laughing at some of this stuff. I mean, you got me to throw a damn pillow across the room. That's how crazy it. I'm literally, my mind is blown right now. I cannot believe that. Gosh.
Just dang. Sometimes I say things and I'm like, maybe I have lived a little bit.
You've definitely lived a little bit. You know a lot of stuff. So, and have a lot of funny experiences. So, again, I appreciate you for being on the show. Hope to have you on again soon. God, this is so funny. I got to look it up. How many Negroes?
I know. I kind of missed it.
Well, hey, you listen. All you just call. Well, you're always welcome to come on the show. This shit is hilarious. Let's see. We got 10 minutes, man. I'm about to play some music, man.
Oh, we have 10 minutes.
Yeah. So if you're listening on Track Talk Radio, you're about to hear old ass Akon record featuring Eminem. Smack that. Oh. Yeah, it's perfect. We're on our way out of here. We're gonna smack a lot of ass. And hopefully listen.
Smack that.
Yeah, all on the floor, smack that. That's a classic record. Listen, all my young brothers out here, know your worth, king. You don't have to have oppression sex or plantation sex. All right, know your worth, king.
I just spit out my water.
Know your worth, king.
Oppression sex.
Oppression sex. And I'm putting that in the description too. We're gonna be like, what the fuck is that? I'm putting both of them on there because that's literally what that is, man. The last 15, 20 minutes of this show were freaking crazy. So I love it. All right, man. It's been real on Track Talk Radio. We're closing out. Y'all enjoy this music. So that's playing. And I got to make sure I turn the encoder off this time. And then we're closing out the stream on YouTube. So, hey, Priscilla, I'll be back on Sunday. If you want to call in, let me know. All right.
I got my kids down early tonight.
Oh, no. You must have got lucky. I'm about to say, we had, a full show with all stories, no cutting out, no nothing. It was cool, man. I'm glad you got to come check in and I cannot believe the stuff that you just told me, but
Yeah, they've been staying up late. That's why I haven't been able. I'm like, I'm not gonna bring this chaos. Everybody's screaming in the background.
Bro. And I don't blame you. It probably would have like kept me awake a little bit. There's been a couple times where I've been like doing these shows like pretty much like on no sleep, man. I just have not been sleeping well. But today I was asleep from about 1 to about 5 p.m. today.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's a nap.
Yeah. I almost took me a big nap. I was in medium nap mode, you know. But yeah. We'll make sure we have you on again. This shit was crazy. Shout out to Steph and Jared for being in the chat. Two of my wonderful friends. Hope you guys are doing well in the quarantine. Watch out for those liquids, and then watch out for arrows on the sidewalk. Those are our key takeaways. And also, if you know, is there like a hotline we can get people to call if they've been having oppression sex and they're looking for a way to get out of that? If some of you brothers are trying to get out of your current situation and you're scared and you don't know what to do, please feel free to call this number 281-330-8004. All right, call that number. It's an oppression sex hotline, and you look to speak with Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones will help you. 800. Shout out to Mike Jones, man. I was listening to his album earlier, so we want to give him a shout out. That number is still active too. That's the craziest thing. Yes, if you call the number, it's like the same little voicemail that's been on there since he first got famous. Wow. Yeah, that thing is still open. So shout out to Mike Jones for having the world's most famous cell phone number. I feel like everybody on earth knows his phone number.
Right?
Yeah. Nice. This is crazy. All right, well, I'm going to get up out of here. It's been real, P. I will hit you up later or tomorrow or another time when I'm awake and not asleep because I'm about to take my fat ass to bed.
All right, good night.
All right, I'll see you later.
See you.
All right, y'all. As we close out the show, I want to thank Priscilla again for joining us. Thank you to Steph and Jerry for being in the chat. The show was live, man. And also thank you, Markel, for always being, chatting live via phone, always giving input and, helping us crack jokes and stuff. God, we talked about so much. I'm still in complete shock about what I heard. But at the same time, I'm not surprised because people are into some weird, kinky shit. So I don't know, man. Listen, like and subscribe to the show. Add comments to this episode. What type of freaky stuff you're into. Don't be bashful. Put it in the comments and maybe I'll shout you out on the next show. So this is the Meemco Jackson Show. We're live every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Track Talk Radio as well as on YouTube. Do all this stuff, man. Add all my pages. It's all under my name, Meemco Jackson. I'm not hard to find. And be sure to share the show. Excuse me. It's time for a big nap. I'm out.